Hi, Amy.
Hi!
How
Happy
are
Friday!
you? Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy birthday to Sagan.
Thank you. He is this many today.
Oh my gosh, 3.
It's a good time.
Such
Yeah,
a joyful age. This is my favorite age, and then they become 4.
that's crazy. This is like my least favorite age.
So, welcome everyone who's joining us tonight. PWA, Parents with Attitude, Friday Night Lives. Thanks for coming. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight we're going to be giving away a gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. If you join in our conversation later, we'll be asking a question of the night, right, Aim?
Dunks. Mm-hmm.
Yep, dunks. Everybody needs some coffee, and we're going to be doing some other giveaways with you coming up to some other local places. And if you know any businesses or you have a business and you'd like to donate something, you're more than welcome to. Yes, tonight we have $25, and we will get to that in just a little bit. So tonight, what are we talking about, Amy?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I think the main topic of discussion tonight is going to be who is knocking on the door right now.
The new normal.
Yeah,
This.
new normal. What is going on in everyone's life with this? I don't know, called a coronavirus.
Yeah, I know. Coronavirus. Did you ever think we were going to live during a time like this?
Yes and no, because historically this happens like every certain amount of years. So yes, but I think I'm just so stuck in what my needs are, what my wants are, that I don't think of what possibilities are that might, change my life. So yes and no. It makes sense that it's happening, but I'm a very selfish person and I don't think of it happening like to me personally. So
Well, it
what
seems like they're like preparing us for like this is going to be the new normal. Like, what do you mean the new normal? Like,
yeah,
are my
no thank
children
you.
going to be home all the time? Or am I ever going to be able to work again? Like,
I did not sign up for this.
yeah, I remember checking that box.
Yeah,
they,
exactly.
didn't, they didn't cover this in high school or college.
No, exactly.
What does everybody else think? I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I know we're progressing towards we're going to start to be able to hopefully have small gatherings and things like that. But the way the summer's kind of looking and how all the guidelines that the WHO, the CDC, the governors that everyone's giving. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot set up for fun anymore.
What you can't have fun at the beach when you're, what is it, 10 feet away from people on your
I
blanket?
don't know. Does that mean so? I have a question about that. So if I'm like 12 feet away from you at whatever beach we decide to go to, it could be Silver, it could be Sandy Neck. If we're 12 feet apart, if we go in the water, so the kids can't like build a sandcastle together. Our
Sure
chairs.
they can. It's just have to be a super, super long, 10-foot long sandcastle that connects.
I mean, it doesn't really facilitate a good conversation. I mean, you and I can project. We don't really have an issue with that, but 12 feet apart, right?
Do we have to wear masks while we're swimming? That's what I need to know. I don't want to get infected by the fish and, vice versa.
I know it's this new normal. I don't like the new normal. I
I do and I
don't.
don't. There are some definite advantages to this new normal. As crazy as it sounds, I think all of us need this real bonding family time as much as we hate each other by the end of the day. I think it's good for us socially, emotionally, physically, but it's also extremely tolling on all of us.
Absolutely.
It's
And
crazy.
mentally, you
Yeah,
know, adulting is hard right now. Like being anything is hard right now.
it is. It truly is. And I think a lot of parents don't want to admit or let their guard down. They're all thinking that yeah, this is what happens. This is what's happening to everybody, everyone as a whole. We're all going through this, so we're just gonna live through it. But no, it shouldn't. Our mindset shouldn't be like that. Our mindset should be, yes, this is happening to everyone. This really sucks. This is affecting my family personally this way, and let's come together as a community to figure out how we can cope and support each other.
Right. I think you bring up a really good point. It's okay. Like, it does suck, and it's okay to be upset that it sucks.
It is.
It's okay to be angry. I think where we all have to do better, including in our own community, is, you know, and it's some people, but we can all like do a little extra. Is just being nice and being kind and just remembering. Yeah, it sucks for all of us.
Yeah.
All of us. It's not fun. Some days are good. Some days you're like, it's 7 a.m. and they're doing this right now, or I have this and this and it's already gone wrong.
All of us age-wise.
Yeah, we're all in it. So let's talk a little bit about some of the facts you have to share with us tonight about COVID. And did you check out this WHO recommendation?
And I love it because it's all about, what you and I are trying to support. Stop the spread of rumors. You need to know your facts about this disease. First off, the disease can make anyone sick, regardless of race or ethnicity. I'm tired of hearing people, saying, well, I don't need to wear a mask because I'm not African or Latino, and that's like who it's affecting, or it's only affecting older people. No, that's not true. It can make anyone sick, regardless of age, ethnicity, whatever. Even sex. Doesn't matter if you're a female. Doesn't matter if you're a kid or somebody in your 90s. You could be affected by this.
Right, and you could be affected by a number of additional things that seem to be this after. So there's this pamphlet that the WHO put out that was actually interesting, and I hadn't actually seen any press on it.
Why don't you tell people who the WHO is?
The World Health Organization. So I want to share a little. Let's see if I can make the link appear here for you guys. And well, I'm text on screen. All right, here we go. So this link right here, I came across this, and they actually have a whole pamphlet on parenting in the time of COVID-19.
Yep.
And I thought it's like a whole flyer. And really, if you break down the focus of this flyer,
do you want to go to that instead of?
It's really about spending time with the family, like emotional health.
One-to-one time, yes.
You have screens. So this link is really, really cool. Let me see if I can let's see.
What I liked about it is it breaks it down for ways to do one-on-one time with each age group. So they have ideas for babies and toddlers. When you've taught like this to a baby, you can copy their facial expressions and their sounds, sing songs, make music with them. You don't have to have instruments. Go into the kitchen and grab some pots and some spoons and start banging and making drums, blocks, tell a story, read a book, share pictures. There's tons of one-on-one things that we can be doing with our little guys.
Right. We also normal taking effect. We really have to take care of these simple things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're going to have to be careful. Yes, we'll eventually be able to not sit 12 feet apart on the beaches. We all hope that it goes back to what used to be normal. But I think the way they keep talking about it as the new normal, I think it's going to be around for a while, and we have to adapt a little bit. So the most important thing is really taking care of this mental health. And finding things we can do to keep us moving. Oh, hey.
No, I completely agree. I don't know how many people know this about me, but I am the founder and director of the Grief Cape Cod, and we offer support services for children and families who are grieving, specifically with a death. But COVID relates to grief in general. Grief isn't always associated with death. The definition of grief is there are over 68 types of loss one can experience by the time they're age 18. So let's think about all the losses that we have experienced since March. One of the biggest ones is the financial loss. People are not able to work. They're not able to provide for their families. They're not able to keep up with the lifestyles that they once had during a really shitty time. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would love to just go to a mall and go shopping. I don't have the money for it right now, and the malls aren't open. That's a huge first world problem that I have right now. I can't just go to the grocery store. I'm pregnant. I can't just go to the grocery store and feed some of these cravings that I am having. Another first world problem, but it's all considered a loss. The kids have lost their friendships at school, their connections with teachers, and vice versa. Everyone thinks that, oh, the teachers must be, having the time of their lives on vacation, and we're substitute teachers now, and this and that. But no, those relationships with our kids are just as valuable to them as are, the kids, vice versa. Socialization in school. It's the physical, even just the physical stuff that they get at school that they're not getting now. Oh, I just woke up, I just got out of bed, I go have some cereal, and then I go to my room and sit in front of a computer to do my studies. Like even little things like that that we're not taking into consideration. There's just so much loss involved. Parents, divorce rate has skyrocketed. Abuse in the home has skyrocketed between parents and parents.
Well, all that anxiety that everybody's together, you're not getting your normal outlets to express all that. Oh, Amy, guess what? Yeah. Guess what? Julie, our friend, is dropping in to join our conversation while we keep going with this. So hold on, let me bring Julie in. Hello, Julie. Here you come.
Hi, you can see me.
Hi,
Julie.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
I'm glad we're all hanging out. So we're talking about. I think you kind of heard a little bit of it. We're talking about some of these losses. And what people are grieving. And so can you share with us some things that you feel have been you've been affected by a little bit and in this new normal, if you will?
Well, the biggest thing for me is I've always worked from home. So my outlet after being in the house working is being able to go to the gym or just go into the store and not having to worry about just what am I going to bring home?
Yeah, or splurge purchases.
Yeah,
right. But the other thing too is my parents are both in their 80s, so they're at high risk for it with other underlying conditions. So you worry about. I've had to go run errands for them and talk them out of going to places where I think they shouldn't be going.
And that's hard because then you can't visit them either.
Right.
And that's probably hard for the kids. Kaya not being able to see her grandparents is probably really hard.
Yeah. It is, but you know what? The other thing too that I don't. During this time, I've had two friends who have had either their sons or their brothers die from cancer. My uncle died, so you can't have funerals.
Yeah,
and everybody's postponing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been tough because there's other death on top of. Then I just found out yesterday somebody that used to work for the company I worked with was 38 years old and healthy and said, "Oh, I had coronavirus. I think I had coronavirus," and he was home and he recovered and then died in his sleep from a stroke, which now they're saying is COVID related.
Happens. Yep.
And it's crazy. It's so hard because you're losing people You're losing the time for regular friendships. The kids are losing school.
Yeah.
Everything's being affected in so many ways. And to bring it back, like Amy, what you said, like this increases tension in the home. So this isn't getting exercised out, and it can lead
Yep.
to, unfortunately, child abuse and domestic situations, which we're seeing
Suicide.
more.
Suicide's another one, another big one.
Right.
Yep.
And so we really need to work on ways to really reach out, because I'll tell you what, like we've been home 63 days. I've been keeping track since I've been home with the kids.
Mhm.
And, you know,
Hi, Annie.
I haven't
Hi.
always wanted to reach out or text or go out of my way. And I'm realizing more and more, like, I have to go out of my way to friends that I might not have heard from, or just check in and kind of really, really make an effort, because you're not out in every day where you're being triggered to like check in on those people and hang out with those people.
Right. I've had to I've called people out that I have to work with because I haven't heard from them, and they're like, "Thanks for reaching out," just because.
It feels good.
Yeah, it does.
No, you're being thought of by someone.
Right. Right.
So, everybody who's watching right now, while we're talking here, we would love for you to comment telling us how the new normal has affected you, or the losses you've kind of had. We're going to delve into the grief of the whole aspect in another episode in the future with Amy, actually, where we're going to really get in depth and really talk about what we can do, give you some really great exercises and things you can, or items to put into action points to put into action in your home, to get through that process together. So we really want to hear from you guys. What are some other things that have affected you? How about you, Amy? Being pregnant at home, that's normal. How is
It sucks. It sucks, but I mean, I'm very lucky to only have first world problems. Financially, we're doing okay. We're able to pay our mortgage. We're able to pay school tuition that the kids are not attending. So we're very lucky. But yeah, when it comes down to, sometimes I feel like I do have the right to complain because this is a real shitty situation. And I've been waiting so long for Polar Cave to open because of my cravings, and that's finally, that's a good situation right now. But it's very different from being pregnant other times, not during a pandemic. I pick up the phone and call, "Ooh, I really want this sandwich from such and such a place. I'm gonna call and do that." Don't like my communication with my doctors having to do this type of telehealth stuff. It's hard because you can't read each other's facial expressions, and I don't know. I like that one-to-one connection that I have with my midwife at Israel, so that's been a little different as well. But again, I only have first world problems to complain about.
You know what? That's one thing I haven't experienced is I'm supposed to have follow-up appointments and I haven't even attempted to make them because are they doing them virtually?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, well,
Yeah, one of my kids has a doctor's appointment, a pediatrician, a checkup because he just turned 3, so he's doing his 3-year-old checkup thing next week. And the lady was like, "You know what number to call when you get here, right?" I was like, "What are you talking about? I can't just walk in with my kid if they have an appointment. No, we have to wait outside of the pediatrician's office, call a number, and then they call us back when it's safe to come in." I'm like, "Wow, thank you for making us healthy, but I don't know, it's just kind of a shock to me."
yeah.
But
you wonder how all these kids are processing that, because that's not something we're like directly having conversations with them about. You're pulling up in front of the doctor's office and you've changed the procedure, and while you're not having a direct conversation about it, they notice these things, and you wonder, what kind of impact does that have on them? What kind of message does it send them? Does it send them that we're scared of everything? Yes, we're trying to protect everything. But then they start asking questions, right? Like, so my 9-year-old's like, "So it's a bug that you can't see?"
yep.
And which led to, well, how many other bugs are there that you can't see? And I'm like,
There's a lot of them.
there, you
Yeah.
know?
But I mean, I think it's vital that we are having these conversations, and I think unfortunately, in most households, these conversations are not taking place. It's just like dealing with families who are grieving, no matter what kind of loss it is. Anything that's a loss is negative and it's taboo. Our society just doesn't allow there to be conversations about these things, and that's, I think, a benefit of this virus, that we are going to become more of a society that appreciates being able to have these conversations with our children, so to prepare them for betterness, if that's even a word, in their lives, so that they can emotionally and mentally cope with something like this.
Absolutely. And of course, then you have the funny things that happen during this whole new normal. So you guys got any
I'm sorry, what? The fun things?
funny?
I don't know.
There's nothing funny.
I never thought I would say this when we got a puppy a year ago. He's actually been a blessing to have because he's been fun to hang out with and
Yeah, guess
train.
what? It's going to be a loss for all of those pets who have now become accustomed to all the families being home, and then who knows when we get to go back to work, back to our regular lives, and the pets are going to be like, "What the hell, man? Where did you go?" Yeah, I feel for the pets.
Well, he's been good to have to hang out with my daughter and keep her entertained, because if you only have one child and there's not another one around, it can be kind of lonely.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
All those kids are home alone.
Yeah.
No siblings.
It's nice to have a buddy.
It is.
Even if you don't like the buddy on most days of the week, it's just to have them there.
Days of the week, every day at one, maybe.
Yeah. My kids only get along on days that don't end with Y.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been strange for me because before everything went down, I would walk my dog and see people, and I get up in the morning and it's only been the last couple of weeks where I see people outside walking their dogs too. It's like everybody's been hibernating.
Hibernating, now they're just starting to come out.
Yeah.
Are we all excited that there is officially, let's look at this. When does, I know we're in different districts here, but what do we have? 6 weeks of remote schooling left to support the continuity learning?
Kai goes to school in Bourne, and I counted down the days this week, and there's only 20 something days left, at least in Bourne.
Yeah, I think you, Amy, have 6 weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody in Bourne.
Well, they canceled. They took a poll and canceled April vacation.
So did Mashpee. Yeah.
So they could get out earlier.
Wait, what? You had vacation? Like that's
No, they didn't. They took a poll and said, "Oh, do you want to have April vacation?"
Yeah,
and everybody turned it down.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep. And so now
I'm very sad to report we have 30 days left. I could probably do 20 though and pretend we're just absent for the last 10. Right?
We have 2.5. 2.5.
What?
That's one of the perks of private school. So.
Oh, lucky. Yeah.
What private school do your kids go to?
Bridgeview Montessori.
Oh. Have they been doing homeschooling stuff?
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. Stuff is sent home every day. And I give my kids options to do it because it's just become so stressful. So we may do it one day, and one day we just may, take a complete break. It's really up to the kids what they are willing and able physically and emotionally to do every day. So, I mean,
that's great. So they've been supportive. They're awesome. They're one of our major supporters of the Cape Cod Moms blog, and so they're great to see that they're supporting the parents and the students.
Yeah, I'm real happy. I said earlier that we're still paying for tuition, even though we're not. What they're getting is emotional and mental support, which is really what we need. One of my kids had a conversation like this, a 1-to-1 with his teacher today, and it really made his day. And she will do individual lessons with him. or they can do what we're doing and shoot the shit and talk about, you know, whatever's on Quinn's mind. So it's really nice. It's tailored to the parents, the individual family, on top of this is what your child can be learning at this point in the year. We're getting extra curriculum for Spanish, physical education, art. So they're doing a really nice job.
Oh,
That's
good.
good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Your experience is the same too? Julie?
Well, kind of, you know, it had its ups and downs because we use Google Classroom. And Bourne uses Google Classroom.
There's like assignments, every teacher, every special teacher, this teacher has their own classroom.
Well, it used to be Kaya had one, her homeroom teacher had one, and then the specials teacher, but it got too confusing, so they put all the coursework under one. And Kaya's teacher has one Zoom meeting a week with everyone in the class, and then another one for small groups, and that's it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like it sounds a little more manageable. We have there's a lot of moving parts, it feels like.
Well, you know, Bourne has a new superintendent this year, and she said it's just Zoom meetings are too hard on people. They don't focus, it's too hard. So they made an effort not to have too many of them.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, on more than one occasion, I've come very close to wanting to draft a letter saying I'm done for the year. Like, send them to virtual summer school. I just didn't. It's some days go really, really well, and then some days it's like he just doesn't want to do it.
So don't make him do it.
Like, he'll go read in his room, and he would rather do that, which is perfectly fine for me. If you need a mental health day to go read in your room or in the hammock, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
That's
you know,
we're at.
I've had a lot of meetings at work too, but we have like a Zoom happy hour every other week with people that I work with. But other than that, we use WebEx, and some people turn their cameras on and some people don't. We use headphones, so.
Oh, Annie, 3 to 4 Zoom meetings a day. Oh, I feel you, girlfriend.
Oh my gosh, how do you manage that?
And of course, you need to when you have that type of, and when you have an IEP and you have to meet those needs. It's been very I bet. And how do you manage that? You work full time, Annie, and how do you manage to do all that and work? That's the big question. That's
very challenging.
Normal has affected you.
Yeah.
Or any other family with kids on IEPs. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot. We have IEP meetings. I've kind of spaced them out.
Yeah, so we space ours out too.
But it's a lot of pressure, especially if you're working. I feel for you, Annie.
How old is this person? How old is this kid?
Annie, how old is Jordan? She's in
8 or 9.
Second or third grade, right? So you're just tuning in and comment telling us about how the new normal has affected you, or share with us a funny story. We're going to get more into these topics and bring in some experts, including about the grief of this in the future.
Where is everybody?
I know. Is this not a good time? Maybe we should have done later.
You know what? It could be that it's nice outside.
My bedtime later.
It's beautiful. Yeah. We might have to do this later next week. You can leave a comment later if you catch it.
Oh, there's a guest.
Kaya, what do you think about the new normal?
I don't know.
You don't know?
What do you think about having to be home like this and not going to school?
What?
What do you think about having to be home like this and not going to school?
I like it, but
But what?
sometimes I don't like it because it's really hard.
Do you miss your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, she misses her friends.
I miss my friends too, Kaya.
Yeah.
Trust me, as soon as we're all able to get together,
Yeah.
We need to do this. Annie's sharing some more with us. Her mom is helpful. So who's helpful to you? She lives with us. Jordan has really stepped up to learn how to do it herself with help. That's awesome. Awesome. What about you, Amy and Julie? Who's been helping you?
Well, I've been working full time, but Paul's been helping.
Yeah.
And Kaya's teacher has really stepped up. You can send her messages and she'll respond. And and I feel bad because she's got 4 kids of her own and still teaches.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's been doing, we've been fortunate. We've
Her
had good
daughter
luck.
goes to school. She's in 4th grade.
Oh yeah. So I think, I guess it's a new normal for everyone. Teachers are all learning how to do it.
Yeah, it does. I feel like I just feel on a daily basis like I'm missing still something in me. And again, I know we're going to get into this in a much more bigger way in a future episode, but I know it's a good sense of grief. Like I'm missing my friends. I'm a person like when I'm home, I like to be a homebody, but when I'm out, I like to like bring all my people together. I like to just like hang out, like let's sit by the beach, let's let the kids play. Let's just like sit here, whether it's quiet, whether we're talking, like the presence and being around people that I care about. I really, really am missing that.
Yeah. I saw one of my best friends, even though we text and stuff and sometimes do, the things on the phone. I actually like saw her face to face. We happened to be at a store at the same time and we saw each other in the parking lot. And I got so emotional and I was like, can I please hug you? And she just put her arms out. She's like, screw this, like stay 10 feet away. Yeah. And we just hugged. And then I talked to her like later in the day. I'm like, I realized how much I needed that. Like, Brooke, if you're listening, I love you. That hug made my day. I was so happy the rest of the day. And I'm like, oh, a hug, dude. Like, is just a hug, but that's the thing nowadays that we are stuck at home with each other, and that's all we need is just a damn hug or a touch from somebody else. It's crazy, and I mean I'm an extrovert, so usually I'm very let's go, we can do this, But in the last couple of weeks, I've spiraled down. It's finally hit me.
Oh no.
All right.
Well, I think back to the last time I saw you in person at an event, and I'm like, oh, it was so nice to like sit there with her. Even you, and like I think back to the last time we were like physically together,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh.
You just stop by. I the window. Yeah.
And the virtual hug's not cutting it. This sucks. It just sucks, right?
And I think a lot of us to move forward need to admit that.
Yeah.
That it does suck. It's not fair that we're going through this. It's not fair that our kids have to, endure all of this loss. That the whole world has to be dealing with this bullshit, if you ask me. But I think that's the first step, understanding where you are. It's okay where you are. Everyone is in this really shitty position, and it's okay to not be okay. That is the new normal. That's my motto. When people are like, "How are you?" I'm not okay, and I know that that's okay.
I like that. I'm not okay, but that's okay.
Because it is what it is.
Fine. It is.
Like science.
We're in that moment.
Yeah.
Because it's okay to not be okay. I'm not okay most days. What about you, Julie?
You know what? It goes in waves. It goes. Some days I'm fine, and then other days I'm like, oh, it's just not good.
Julie, I started crying at like 6:00 in the morning one morning when I went to do laundry for like the 50-something day in a row, and I was like, oh, and I don't know why. Just I don't know.
Been inside for 63 days.
Yes.
Wow.
That this is every day, like more of the same.
Well, I've been surprisingly busy at work, which hasn't helped because my company is still hiring people, and I've been training.
What company is this? Yeah.
It's insurance, and they have claims examiners. They have accounting people that they need.
I'm sure, especially right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, job security in certain fields right now, if you can get back into it.
Yeah, if you can. But I mean, they hired there in the last month, we've hired 5 people. So I've been training 4 of them on top of my job.
So
So
that kind of helps your minds kind of stay off of it.
yeah, but
Wow.
it but it's busy. It's actually busy. For a while there was a lull because people weren't sure what to do with their medical insurance, and now everything's going, but there's going to be big fluctuations as to enrollment and figuring it
Oh,
out. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
oh God, the next bubble.
But you know, I've come to the conclusion that now I think the positive thing is I think more people are going to focus on, you know, made in America, buy stuff American, small business.
Shop local.
Yeah, shop local.
Shop local. We've got some great local businesses, and that do make things here. I think Takushka.
Yeah, the masks were found. Yeah.
Yep, she has that
Pastor,
factory in
Yeah.
Fall River.
You know, I found a company in Vermont that makes socks. If you like Smartwool socks, they make everything local in Vermont. It's not Smartwool, but it's like that. It's called Darn Tough Socks.
Oh,
I
cool.
think the locals have really, in Made in America, like they've really risen to the challenge.
Right.
Even around here, I see people like Melissa, our friend from Busy Fingers, sewing up.
Yeah, shout out to Busy Fingers.
Oh my God,
Hooking it up with masks.
But there's tons of like local moms and parents or just regular people. I see it all day long, rising to the occasion and making things for what the current need is,
Right.
which is amazing to see. And so I think that's a way that people can say, yes, it kind of helps them work through that. This sucks while they're not okay,
Yeah, I mean, Gessner, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She did this whole Cape Cod Front Steps project, taking pictures of the families. That everything is going to be okay. This is what social distancing looks like. This is what looks like. But it can be okay.
Right. They took people's minds off of it and brought it back to this is a family unit. We are a community.
Mhm.
We're all in it together. And that's what we have to keep remembering.
Yeah.
And as we move forward into uncharted territory, as things do start to reopen, this new normal is going to change again because whether there's childcare, you're going to have a whole group of people right now, us, who are going to be struggling going back to work and balancing that with kids who don't have childcare.
Yep.
And I look forward and I have faith in our community that they'll rise to that occasion the same as they have for this. And I think it's just really problem solving together for it.
I know. Well, I wonder myself about what's going to go on with the summer camps when people start going back to work because, Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts has canceled all their summer camps. So I don't know how many more people are going to follow suit. What do you do with your child when you go back to work?
Honestly, I think what you're going to see is maybe some close knit groups of families and friends kind of start to partner together. That if you're allowed to have groups of 10 to 10 approximately or under 25, I think you're going to see parents team up and let's say it goes through the summer or even into the fall. Okay, everybody drop their kid off here this day at my house, and you have 5 or 6 kids over, and they're all doing their remote learning if they're home that day, and all the other parents work. And it's going to have to be a team effort, like small groups. We all know the within those groups, and it's going to take a massive effort. Amy, it's really reminiscent of how we used to be, like thousands of years ago. Like we were community raisers. We raised in villages. We every mom and dad in the village was your mom and dad. Like,
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a kind of a push eventually back towards that, or a feeling of that same feeling. Even
We should. I think that would be one of the benefits that come out of this, actually. It'll bring families closer together the way that they used to be.
I think so. I think it's going to change it. I think it's going to be more a team effort, and because how else do you make it work? You have to be a team.
I'm down with
So we got Annie's story. Annie wanted to share her story about the new normal affecting tonight. I think the sunshine tonight and the beautiful weather and the sunsets kind of beat us out tonight, ladies.
That's a good thing.
That's a good
everybody
thing.
out.
Cheers to everybody who got out. I think we're going to call Annie the winner. She's going to be our winner of our $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. She can go get herself some coffee, maybe a sprinkle and frost your own donut kit for Jordan. I bet she would love that. So going forward, what do you think are some things we should talk about, Amy and Julie? Well, we're going to delve more into the brief thing and everything like that, but are there some other topics you guys would like to see brought on?
I think last week some people wanted not preparing because they already have new children, but adjusting to life with 2 children instead of just one, adding another one into the family. Just topics that are relevant right now. How to get along together as a family unit without killing each other. Things that we can come up with as suggestions for families. And
by the way, go back to that for a minute. Let's discuss. So for real, okay, since we know nobody's listening, when are we going to get out of here? Like when the planes left out to the Caribbean, we're going to get stuck there, right? And then with the kids, and we'll all sneak out down to, I don't know, where do you want to go? Grenada?
I mean, Aim, you're way ahead of the game about airplanes. I think we're going to be like shoveling in our backyard to get somewhere to another part of the world.
Yeah. No, we're getting on a plane as soon as they and then we're getting stuck there so we don't have to come back. We can all work remotely. I like it.
The kids are coming back. Hide the hole that we've dug to escape. Yeah, I can.
Oh, hi, Megan. Megan was last week's winner. Hi, Megan. Nice to see you.
Hi.
We had a nice chat tonight, Megan, and we think we got beat out by the sun. So we've had some fun, and we'll be back next week, right, ladies?
All right.
We'll be back next week. We'll be posting the topic. We'll have more giveaways to a local place. I'm going to let you see if you can think about that and guess, and see if you can guess where the next gift card's coming from.
Can you give us a clue?
Oh, if I give you a clue, you're totally you'll get it.
Is it cold?
Yes, it's cold.
Can it also be not cold?
Not at this particular place.
Oh. Man,
I'll leave you with that, but there'll be a gift card for next week. We'll see everybody. Do we want to keep the same time? Do we think 7 works? Tough to decide.
Take a poll next week or over the week.
Right, we're going to take a poll this week.
All right. Yeah,
Friday we're out. We switch the day.
All right. Well, I will see y'all later. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching. You've been here with Parents with Attitude. We're keeping it real. See y'all later.
Bye. Have a good night.